Hello, everybody. This is Guess Who? Me and my twin sister, and we're going to do a Convos with Kim, and you'll actually get to see us both in the same frame because we're in the same room, and I guess we did that once before.
We did? Oh yeah, when you were with me or something.
Yeah, I just now remembered that. Um, so yeah. Anyway, this probably won't come out. Yeah, this won't come out until July, but it's June now, and she's here with me. So we just thought she might as well finish this one kind of series she's been doing lately while she's here. So I guess with that, I'll turn it over to her.
Yeah. Oh, don't even need to time it because we're not on Zoom. Wow, it could go forever.
Well, this does actually stop after 30 minutes. I just
30, so it's even shorter than the Zoom.
Yeah, but we can always just merge it with the second one. But I forgot to ask the IRA agent about how well you could see the braille display. Oh well.
Yeah, but yeah, I can just show it at first. This is the Braille display, and it just the pins come up to make the Braille dots. So that's what I'm going to be using to read a lot of this because I'm still continuing this conversation I had with Chat GPT and with my siblings, and we just got to talking about all kinds of concepts about the future and what income might look like in the future and how we might generate it, etc. So I was just kind of brainstorming with Chat GPT, and I said maybe in this world we just need to create some limited currencies, various limited currencies for different things in order to curb inflation, because that seems to be everybody's main concern. That if you just give people free money, everything's just going to run away from us, and we'll have mass inflation. And ChatGPT said, now that's an intriguing twist. Limited purpose or domain specific currencies to control value flow and reduce inflation. You're hitting on something that's both ancient in spirit, think barter or tokens, and super relevant in a high tech economy. Let's dig into how that could work and what kinds of systems it might evolve into.
I would think it would make things a lot more complicated to have all these different monies or whatever. But maybe I guess it probably addresses that.
Yeah, and with Chat GPT, you don't think that could handle a little more complication? I mean, that's the wave of the future, that we can kind of make things as complicated as we want because we have the machines to do all the thinking for us. So, but it did go in a little different direction than I was intending when I said like limited tokens. I was more thinking of currencies that are limited in supply, not purpose. Like um, the like Bitcoin. That's what got me thinking. Like my brother was saying, that's why he likes Bitcoin, because he thinks that's pretty much safe from inflation because there's a limited supply of that. We can't just keep creating more Bitcoins. There's only so many of them. And so the ones that exist, that's why they keep going higher and higher in price, because the more people that buy them, the more valuable they get. Um, but still, even with what I said, Chat GPT came up with some neat ideas that I thought were still worth sharing and just fun to think about. It just kind of exemplifies the many different futures that we could come up with if we just put our mind to it. And so it said, um, why multiple limited currencies might help. The core problem with printing unlimited money is inflation, especially when money chases a limited supply of goods. So we can keep creating more money, but the actual goods are scarce. That's what causes inflation, like housing, food, etc., will keep going up in price. But what if the money can only be used for certain things? Then you could target the flow of money. You could encourage spending in some areas and discourage spending in other areas. You could cap the inflation in critical goods, like balance the overall system more elegantly, because you could create more money for whatever you want people to buy more, basically. types of limited currencies that you might see in a future society could include basic needs credits, or BNC. You could have one kind of money just for basic needs, and they could be government issued tokens that can only be spent on things like food, housing, and utilities, and healthcare. And these could be inflation resistant and maybe even pegged to the actual supply of goods. And then another type of credits you could have would be creative credits. And those would be used for things like art, entertainment, writing, music, etc. And it could be community based, where creators earn based on their engagement or appreciation. Think things like Patreon now, or basically Patreon on steroids, this could be like. And then you could have another type of currency for learning or growth credits. These could be issued and spent on learning new skills, or volunteering, or caregiving, mentoring, etc. And that would be more spendable on education experiences or self actualization level services. And then you could have like labor and trade tokens, and those could be the ones that are used for people doing the physical essential labor that we will still need. We'll still need humans, I suppose, at least for a while, to do the dirty work of collecting the trash or just physically building a house or whatever. We're going to need humans to keep doing those things so they could get their own kind of tokens.
Why do you think those jobs, specifically those, are the ones you could easily do with robots?
And not for like building skyscrapers. I mean, this is just talking like by 1940, we could potentially have, I mean, by not 1940, but 2040, we could have this kind of money system in place before the robots can even do a lot of those labor type jobs. And but whatever we need humans to do, like humans to grow the crops or whatever humans are actually contributing, they could be the ones earning those tokens. So it could be, they could be exchanged peer to peer for extra housing credits or leisure activities or other niche needs. So by restricting how money can flow, you avoid flooding all markets at once. And so you won't have general inflation. You might have inflation in some areas until the computers basically take care of it. Like they could be watching all the time to see where the money's going and adjust things accordingly. So if food is in short supply, the system could tighten food credit issues automatically. And meanwhile, you could still encourage creative production or education without risking price spirals. So it's kind of like a programmable economy, money with rules. Right now, we have like some examples of how we kind of have this already. All we need to do is just turn up the dials on all of these things a little more to kind of imagine a future like this. Like right now, we have food stamps or SNAP, and that's only spendable on food items. You get money specific for that. Or we have carbon credits, which are tradable permits to curb the emission of pollution. And we have cryptocurrencies and tokens. And some of those tokens are only work in particular ecosystems, like the gas fees on Ethereum, for example. And we have loyalty points. I just flew here on trying to earn some more loyalty points with United. And technically, that's a limited supply currency, only spendable at one store or one airline or whatever. And so we already dabble in this. Your idea is just pushing it into a more comprehensive, structured ecosystem. So this is all what Chat GPT is telling me, and ideas that it's giving to me. And then went on to tell me the potential challenges to this: complexity, managing, regulating, and educating people about multiple currencies could be messy. Black markets, people may try to convert limited currencies into open market money or goods, risking shadow economies. Social stratification, could different tokens, they could end up being worth more socially, like rich people tokens versus poor people tokens. Freedom, would people resent being told how to spend their money or having it more controlled? This kind of economy would probably be AI managed with algorithms tracking supply, demand, and inflation pressure in real time, kind of like a hybrid between a market and a planned economy, but fluid and adaptable. Sci-fi writers like Cory Doctorow and Kim Stanley Robinson, in Ministry for the Future, hint at systems like this. And hey, maybe people even get to vote on how these tokens are created and distributed. A real participatory economy. Want to sketch out what a weekly life might look like under such a system, or want to theorize how we could actually get there within the next 15 years? And so I said, yes, let's do both of those things. So ChatGPT goes, awesome, let's build this out together. Vision style. First, we'll sketch a week in the life of a person in this future multi-currency AI managed economy. Then we'll zoom out and chart a possible transition from today's world to that world. Sound good? Let's roll. A week in the life, future economy, year 2049. So that's amazing to think how fast we could get there. So this person's name that they sketched out is Amara Ortega, age 31. City state is Cascadia Megazone, which was formerly the Pacific Northwest. So this person is kind of a more artsy fartsy creative type, but really more and more people in the future are going to be like this, because if you want to just do something in the world, that's the type of work you'll be doing, because most of the other labor will be done by machines. So here's how a day in the life of that person will probably work. And yes, we'll probably have people just vegging in their mom's basement playing video games or something, but at least they'll be entertained and be taken care of. And if they can find something to do and be happy in that kind of world, even if it's not quote unquote serving others, I mean, that'll be fine too. And we'll just have to keep watching people and inventing ways to keep people occupied and happy, however that may be. But so the status of this person is creative citizen level 2. And so Monday, what she might do in the morning, she logs into her AI curated music platform to release a new ambient track. And within minutes, her early listeners start tipping her with creative credits. And the track goes semi-viral in an eco art community. Then during the midday, she grabs lunch from a local food co-op and pays with her basic needs tokens. And prices are stable thanks to supply linked subsidies. And then in the afternoon, she might mentor a teen on music production, and she earns growth tokens for doing that, which accumulate toward a retreat that she's been eyeing in the Alps. So then Tuesday, she in the morning uses her labor trade uh, tokens to book a massage from a neighbor who offers therapeutic body work. And these tokens aren't government issued, but part of a peer economy network, like different individuals and communities could create their own barter systems and token systems too. And then in the afternoon, she might attend a virtual town hall where citizens vote on adjustments to the green token algorithm balancing carbon savings with reward levels. and participatory democracy in action. And then in the evening, she cooks dinner with friends. She shares her unused basic needs credits via their shared meal app, which helps reduce food waste. People can just gather on apps and stuff like that. Like in the future, all these ideas are basically limitless because we can just change things around and cooperate with each other so easily via computer. And then Wednesday through Saturday, she works on a collaborative audio visual installation with artists across 4 continents. And then her creative credits accumulate based on engagement, not on ads. People who resonate with her work can donate, endorse, or co-create with her. And she uses her growth tokens to attend a virtual workshop on modular architecture. And then on Sunday, she visits free mental health clinic. It's funded by a mix of government issued basic needs tokens and volunteer work backed by her growth tokens. So she can kind of combine them in that instance. And then in the evening, she can participate in a small scale skill swap. Like she's just going to trade pottery for some herbs from her neighbors. So no currency is exchanged there. It's just kind of a mutual value barter system. So she never works in the traditional sense. Her needs are met through a floor of basic needs tokens, and through extra effort, she gets extra rewards, but in diverse currencies tied to real world behaviors. She still has ambition, purpose, and social structure, but no rent anxiety, no student debt, no gig grind. So so
That
that
somehow just came up with a whole week of stuff like that.
yeah, within a few seconds, it's just like amazing to communicate with something like this. So it says now zoom out how we got here, the transition path. This is how we might actually get there by 2040 or 2050. Here's one plausible trajectory. Um, Phase one, the great unraveling, and that's kind of what we're in the midst of now, and that's the 1920s and 30s.
I mean, the 2020s.
Yeah, what's a whole century behind? Wow. So widespread job displacement from AI and automation, and housing and health care crisis deepen in major economies. And so governments begin experimenting with UBI, universal basic income style relief, because they don't really have any other choice. And then blockchain and smart contracts become mainstream, allowing programmable, transparent currencies. And then phase two, the experiment scale, that would be like 2035 to 2040. Um, in cities and regions, certain ones just test this stuff out on a small scale. They test out these multiple currency systems, and a few success zones thrive and grow popular. And so then AI platforms emerge that manage inflation, scarcity, and production through automation. And then people slowly stop asking, how do I make a living? And start asking, how do I contribute? And that's what people's goals are. They're not just constantly worrying about money. They're just like, cool, I live in this world. What can I contribute to it? And then phase three, the rebalancing, which would be 2040 to 2050. In old national currencies, they might still exist, but they play a reduced role. And meanwhile, these newer currencies just keep coming along. Supply linked and goal linked currencies dominate public spending and private exchange. And most essential work is automated or well compensated with specific reward tokens. And then the value is no longer just money, it's time, attention, care, creation, and sustainability. You're rewarded in all sorts of ways. So, yeah, utopian, maybe, but increasingly it's inevitable. The more tech outpaces the need for human labor. It's a future that doesn't eliminate ambition, it just decouples that from survival. You can be ambitious without, if something goes a little bit wrong, I mean, people can take more risks or whatever they need to do because they're not horribly punished for the rest of their life if they make a mistake or if something goes wrong. So then ChatGPT asked me, do you want to explore any part of that deeper? Do you want to explore like how the tech behind all this might work? Or do you want to explore the psychological impact or how different currencies are issued or kept in check? So like it just keeps giving me
Yeah,
ideas.
you
I
could
could have
go on
delved
forever.
into each one of those
Like you
things.
said, you didn't even go into the whole limited supply thing with it.
Yeah, like I didn't even pursue the original idea. But rather than doing all that right then, I just sent all that to my siblings and wanted to know what they thought of a future like this. And our brother Rory said, this seems like a utopia to you, not to me. Oh, I guess I can't fly to attend this funeral for my mom because I already used up all my environmental credits for the week. Or, oh, I want to dedicate a huge sum of money to achieve this dream I have of a musical instrument. So I can use my creative credits for that, or do I have to use my labor credits because I'm hiring a craftsman to build it? And oh, if I want to use curly maple for the back, how many environmental credits does that cost me? And are they my credits that I would be using, or the builder's credit that it's going to use? And does the government still get to give itself as many credits as it wants? So if it wants to go invade a country, does it just give itself unlimited food and environmental credits? And those are all good questions. And number one, I would say, yes, the government could potentially give itself money to go to war whenever it wants, just like it's doing right now. So, like, all these problems aren't going to be automatically solved in the future, and new problems and complications are going to come up because it will be more complicated at first until the machines figure it all out, and then we'll have to still think about how are we going to like stay in control of the machines so they don't just kind of run away with things without our permission and just go too fast and make changes too fast and mess things up. So a lot of things could go wrong, but a lot of things could go right. And I just think it's kind of fun and entertaining to be thinking about it now, and it's going to be necessary for our government leaders to start thinking about stuff like this and hopefully creating a better world.
Yeah, the earlier we get started thinking about it, the more prepared we'll be and not just totally thrown for a loop when it happens when we didn't even know anything about it.
Yep.
So, with that, we will draw this to a close. And please subscribe and leave your comments and feedback and hit the like button. That all really helps. And
yeah, that was kind of cool. The comments I got last time, I'm always glad to see more engagement.
Yeah, so keep that up. And please visit the previous months when she did the first part of this very intriguing series. So, with that, I guess we'll say bye for now.
Goodbye.